Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in. I wanted to do a follow-up video on dating a broke man. And I did a video, and the title was, I think, How to Read a Man's Character. And I got some comment, and it was, the people who the devil sent to argue, they are up late and they work late, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. So the Blessed Tribe are on it. They own the comments in the daytime. As soon as I post a video, they own it. Now, when it get into the wee hours of the night, I'm on my own. And I get some comments that's just crazy. Y'all never see them because I block and delete. I am Mr. Block and Delete. I am head of the block ministry. So I have to deal with so much mess. But one of the comments I kept seeing is people misunderstanding. And this is why I tell you, stop listening to respond, to reply, and listen to understand. And if you listen to what I'm saying, because sometimes people send me a whole long comment and I say, ain't nowhere in the video did I say that. And everything that you went on this whole long rant about, I already addressed it in the video. So listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to me now, because I'm trying to help you understand this. So many women, well, Tony, I can't date a broke man. I just refuse to date a broke man. I am grown. And I totally get that your wife was with you because she was 19 years old. You 21 years old. So that made perfect sense. But I'm in my 30s and my 40s and I cannot date a broke man. And I said, Lord, okay. This is where we got to go. This is where I need you to understand. Listen to me. A broke man. Listen to what I'm telling you now. You already date broke men. You already date broke men. Every man you never dated has been broke. Do you hear me? Regardless of what amount of money he made, he was broke. If you're not happily married today, then you date broke men. Okay? If you are happily married today, every man you dated before your husband was a broke man. Because you know what broke is? A broke man is a man who has poor character. So that man that had all the money but he cheated on you, the man who had a good job that could provide but he cheated on you, he lied to you, he beat on you, he deceived you, he mistreated you, he was broke. That's what broke is. See, money is just currency. And when it comes to money, that's just a mindset. That's just a mindset. Now, somebody asked me, well, Tony, if a man is in his 40s and he's still broke, does that say something about his character? Well, you got to get to know his character. You got to get to know his character first to know what it says about his character. Because let me help you understand something. And I'm talking to women right now. Let me help you understand something. A woman was created for a reason. And this is what a lot of women don't understand. Is you play a role in a man's life. So a man can have great character and still not have the financial situation that he needs. You know why? Because a woman is a catalyst in a man's life. Because a woman, a good woman like you claim to be, brings stability, brings confidence. And when I say brings this, I mean you ignite it, you enhance it. He may be confident, but when you come into his life, he now is truly confident, because guess what you're able to do as a woman with your spouse the same way as a man. A man can do this, does this, and can do this for a woman as well. Guess what? It's just like somebody you love. It could be your child. It could be a family member. They can have all the talent in the world. All the talent in the world and could be a great person, but be paycheck to paycheck. What do they need to hear? They need to hear from you, you are so gifted and you are a millionaire waiting to cash the check. What you need to do is take your gift. I remember I told my wife, I said, listen, your friend taking and making these here signs, and this sign behind my head, it's wood and it got my logo on it. I say, tell your friend to get on Etsy and start an Etsy shop. Do you know they had the gift already, but nobody had spoken to their life to say, you got enough gift to do this and earn from it. They did the Etsy shop. Next thing you know, come Christmas time, they had 100, 200 orders. This was money that never would have been made. This is money that would have been left in the consumer's pocket had I not told my wife to speak into her life and confirm maybe what she already wanted to do. I need you to understand that a broke man, broke only relates to his character. So when I say broke, I'm not talking about financial, because let me help you understand something. Okay? Let me help you understand something. I was making $8.50 an hour. Guess what? Any man working on that job with me made the same thing I made regardless of his age. Don't nobody say, oh, because you 40, because you 50, we gonna pay you $12.50 an hour because you older and you ought to have your stuff together. No, the job pay what it pays. But guess what? My wife spoke into my life and she said, you gifted. You got to use your gifts. Start running from your call and start running from your gifts. Use your gifts. Write your book. And when she said that, guess what? That changed our lives. Changed our lives. And I don't like to speak numbers. I don't like to speak money. I do not like to speak money. But let me help you understand something. When I was working that job, my last W-2 was $19,900. The last W-2 I looked at on that job. And I will have you understand that the Lord, because of my wife speaking into my life, supporting me, seeing my character, seeing my heart, and being there, and not judging me by where I was and the money I was making, and not thinking, oh, if this where he's at, this where he always gonna be. I never got a college degree. But what she saw was money don't matter in the grand scheme of things if this man has character and he's going to be honest and he's going to be trustworthy and he's going to be faithful. The money going to come based on his character. That cannot fail. That cannot fail. And what you have to realize is that sometimes we have to believe in someone else's belief in us until our own belief kicks in the words of Les Brown or somebody else, if he learned it from somebody. But that is real. So as a woman, you have to factor in your presence in a man's life. So last week, I earned time and a half, I guess I would say. So what I used to earn in a year, I earned that and another half, 150% increase. On my yearly salary, I earned that last week. And I say that to say, not to brag, I don't want to brag, but to help you understand what character gonna do for a man. Because guess what? When a man has character, that means he's gonna be 100% faithful to you. So because I'm faithful to my wife, and I'm not taking any time texting another woman, flirting and cheating. I'm not saying I got to go out of town on business to go out and be with another woman. Guess what I'm doing? In my free time, I'm working. I'm creating. So where you think my mentor.life came from? The website that I keep telling you to go to and book a session with your coach. Came from my quiet time, came from my wife's support. Came from her encouragement, and it came from my character being focused and centered to create. Let me help you understand something else. TonyGaskinsAcademy.com. Write it down. You write this down. GaskinsUniversity.com. Write it down. Write this down. Character University. MyMentor.life. I just ran off 4 websites to you. That is inside of my purpose, that's helping people grow, that's helping people change their life, that's helping people get to the next level. And I own all of them, and I created all of them. You know why? Because my character is consistent. So the same person who was making $8.50 an hour, you hear me? This is what I need you to understand. So for y'all women that is arrogant, and I'm gonna tell you what arrogance come from and what arrogance produces. Arrogance produces ignorance. So when you so focus on money, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a man with money who treats you like crap because he got the money before he got the character. And money cannot buy character, but character can earn you any amount of money. So listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you. He could be 40. He could be 50. But if he has pristine character, God will take and reveal something to you that you see in him that he never saw in himself because of his humility. Because of his mindset of just being lowly in spirit, humble, kind, loving, giving, faithful, trustworthy. Listen to what I'm telling you. I met a man who hired me to manage his social media years ago when I used to do that. One of my streams of income was managing people's social media, managing their Twitter account, helping them build a Twitter account. This man at this time was in his 40s or 50s. I was in my mid-20s. And this man was sweeping floors at McDonald's. But character. He was sweeping the floor at McDonald's, speaking to everybody nice. Hey, how you doing today? How's everything going with you? Oh, yeah, okay. Hey, great to see you. Oh, I see you got your favorite. Oh, okay. Oh, you done added some lettuce this time to your double cheese? Oh, okay. You coming on up. Just building, talking to people. And guess what the man told me? One day he sweeping floors as usual. And the man say it was an elderly white couple. This is a black man talking to me. The man says an elderly white couple in there. And they come in there all the time and eat them a little hamburger. They'll come in there once a week or whatever, every week. The reason why they were coming in there is because they own the McDonald's. The man said, they said to him, hey, you know what? We come in here and we love your attitude. We love your attitude. How, you ever want to own a McDonald's one day? He said, yeah, I would love that. That's a dream of mine. They said, well, we want to help you. We want to give you a McDonald's. They put this man in position, gave him his own McDonald's. You hear me? Do you hear what I'm telling you? Character. And guess what? That became the best-selling McDonald's in his area. He made enough money to buy another McDonald's. Had 2 McDonald's. End up selling his McDonald's for millions of dollars. and moved from up north down here to Florida. Character. That's what I want you to understand. Like, you short-sighted if you looking at a human being based on the money in their bank account, the degrees on the wall, the job that they working. You slap crazy if you think that's going to define somebody. You got to look at a person's heart. A lady put a ignorant comment. When the last time you seen a bill company let you pay a bill with character? That is ignorant. When you take and you use your character, and since you know it all, since you know how to make money, then you could take and see somebody with talent and speak into their life, and now this your husband. So y'all teammates. So if he giving you the peace of mind of faithfulness, and he treating you like a queen, and he's loving on you, guess what? You got the peace to be able to look at him in his life and see the holes and see what he could be doing differently, what he can be doing better in his business life. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to say, you know what? I really love you, and I thank you for being the man that you are. But the way you out here fixing these cars for everybody in the neighborhood for $100, $200, and you just charging them the cost for parts, guess what? We together now. I done built my credit score to 780, and it's a place right up the street of an auto building that done closed down. And I called, and they told me it'll be $2,500 a month. Guess what? I got a credit card that's $15,000, $20,000. We could use that. And I believe we bet on ourselves. We could set this business up, and you could have a full-fledged auto mechanic shop. And not just doing auto mechanic, but you could do detailing. You could use all your gifts right out this shop. You own your own business. And you got a place of business, and people come there and they know they not only paying for parts, but they paying for labor. You see what I'm saying? Just like that. Boom, bam. Just like that. I'm going to tell you, after I left my job, I was going through something in my life, and I went through a space. And let me help you understand, because see, this is the problem with a lot of women today. Y'all just, a lot of women, you want a meal ticket. A lot of you because you done work hard, you ready to get sat down. And that's selfish. So you ready to get sat down. Don't go in expecting that. Go in, bring something to the table. He bringing something to the table. If he working and he's ambitious, that's what the lady said. When the last time you seen a bill company let you pay a bill with ambition? Guess what? I'm paying all my bills and other people's bills too with ambition. Because ambition gonna create something when it has character with it. Ain't nobody say ambition by itself with no character gonna pay a bill. But guess what? Ambition with character, you hear me? It's gonna pay a bill. Because you know what? If you see me doing a training February 22nd in Atlanta, training life coaches, what's gonna make you buy a ticket there? Not just the fact that you want to become a life coach, because it's a whole bunch of certifications. You're gonna read my character. You're gonna read and pay attention to my consistency. If I'm smoking, drinking, cursing, dogging people out, mistreating people, you're not investing your money in me. Even though you're going to get a return of investment, you still want to make your initial investment into somebody that you feel has character. So the people who come to my training, it's because they read my character and they use their discernment to say, I feel like this is an okay dude. You hear what I'm telling you? So that is how character with ambition produces a return. And that's what you got to understand. So take money out the picture. Take money out the picture and get to know a person for who he is, who she is. If this a man, listen, get to know that person for that. And then from there, you able to see. You able to see. So my wife got character. She got character, but she's not. I'm a producer. I manifest things. I make things happen. That's not her. That's not her gift. Her gift is she's more like a facilitator. You tell her, look, this the job. This what I need done. And she going to be a 15 out of 10. She going to overdo it. But if you just sit her down and say, hey, create something out of nothing, she'll be lost because that's not her gift. So my gift is to create something out of nothing. I always had the gift, but guess what? I had the character, but at the time I ain't had the money. You know why I didn't have the money? Because we were working and we working regular jobs and we paycheck to paycheck. You know why my wife had the money? Because she's smart. So she was in school on a full scholarship, full academic scholarship, but she also was on the track team. So she got a refund check. So in August, she would get a refund check of $10,000 and she would get a refund check in January of $10,000. My first book was because my wife gave me $1,600 of her refund check. It's teamwork. You can't sit there and just, oh, well, you need to have everything together. You need to have financial security. You need to have emotional security. Because guess what? If you judging him like that, that means you don't have emotional security. And if you so worried about where his money at, that means you don't have financial security. Because if you got financial security, you ain't worried about where nobody else money at. What you worrying about is their character. Because you don't mind financially broke people being around you if they got good character, because that lets you know they're not going to use you or steal from you because they have good character. But what you can do is become a millionaire and teach other people with good character how to be a millionaire. So this what I'm telling you. This what's going to keep a lot of y'all single is because you trapped in Housewives of Atlanta mindset. You trapped in love and hip hop mindset. So you judging a man solely off of money. And that is why it's so many ugly men with beautiful women, because they got money. That's what too many women worrying about. Now, how do these ugly men, I do not know what a good looking man look like, but I know what a ugly man look like. And when an ugly man get money, he got a line of women. And then when he get money, now a woman tone want to change. Well, he is so funny. Oh my God, he is so funny. Before he had money, he couldn't tell a joke. Before he had money, he could be a stand-up comedian. You wouldn't crack a smile. Before he had money. Now he got, oh my God, he is so funny. You laughing all the way to the bank. He not funny. He still looks challenged. He's still the same person he was. And so that's why you see so many men with money dogging women out. You know why? Because they know the true motives of your heart. The man with money knows that before he had money, he couldn't get a woman. He couldn't sniff a woman. He couldn't touch a woman with a 10-foot pole. And now he got money. Now he got these women that look like they stepped out of a magazine chasing him. So guess what? He resents women for that very reason. So that's why I say you got to be careful how you judging a man. Because guess what? A looks challenged man knows he looks challenged. So he know that you're not interested in him for his looks. He knows that you don't think he's handsome. But he knows that because he making a few $100,000 a year, that now you ready and willing to give him the time of day. And now you want to, oh, he got a great personality. But when all he had was character, if all he had was character, you couldn't see that. Oh, child, he broke. Child, that man can't buy me a hamburger on a sale. Child, look here. I done worked too hard to be with old broke man. I'm too old for that. And so that's what you coming with. And so now this man who, he on the rise. I don't care about his age. What I know as a man is his character. Because sometimes this is what you got to understand. This is what you have to understand. This is what you're going to notice. This is what you're going to notice. And somebody said, a lady said, well, I'm just going to believe God that there is a man who has it all, who is emotionally secure and financially secure. Guess what, sister? If he exists, then he don't need you. If a man could do it all on his own and be everything all on his own, God wouldn't have made Eve. He would have just let Adam live and then just made a bunch of men. He made a woman for a reason. So you got to embrace that and accept that and say, okay, what am I bringing to the table? I see what he got. Okay, I see who he is. But how can I enhance this man's life? Because see, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. So my wife, she looked at me and she looked at my character. She looked at my ambition. She saw the God in me. She saw who I could become. And she didn't judge me based on where I was and where I was going based on my college major. She didn't judge me based on that. She judged me based on my character and my ambition, who God was molding me to be. And then she took and she brought her to the table. She brought a table to the table. You hear me? And so what happened is when she spoke into my life, let me show you how this worked. She busting her butt. She working hard. She in school to be a doctor. But she come in my life and I was going to probably have to be living off her. She was going to be making more money than me based on our college degree. She biomedical science. I'm criminology. So I was going to be a police officer or a detention deputy, probably maxing at $65,000 a year after 20 years. Yeah. Police, first responder, who could walk up to a car window and get shot and killed is out here getting paid $30,000 a year. And then 44 if he lucky, and 60 to 70 if he done been there forever, and maybe 100,000 if he is the chief of police in Los Angeles. But in a regular city, he probably still ain't making six figures as the chief of police. You hear me? So I was a criminology major. But let me show you how this worked out. And this is how one hand washed the other. And a bitter man and a bitter woman don't understand this concept. Is you helping each other based on the assets and based on the gifts that you bring to the table, based on the intangibles that you bring to the table. So my wife came to me, and one thing I noticed with a lot of women is they tired of working. They tired of working. My mama 55, she been talking about she tired of working since she was 40. So I'm like, well, how in the world we live in a society that you got to work until 62, and a lot of people still working at 70, bagging groceries at the grocery store in their 70s. So how in the world we live in this kind of world and you tired of working at 40? I done met women, young women in their early 30s who make $250,000 a year, and they have said this to me verbatim. Tony, I make good money, but it is hard making the money that I make and maintaining the lifestyle that I have. I want a man with money because I am ready to sit down. It is stressful going out and creating and producing this level of income year after year. I am tired. I am ready to sit down. I want to get married. I want to have children. And I want to be able to be at home with my kids for the first year or two of their life so that a nanny doesn't have to be there breaking their legs. And I'm coming home, my child got a broke leg and a black eye because the nanny was on Instagram instead of watching my kids. And now I'm ready to catch a charge and go do fed time in prison time because I done hurt somebody for not watching my kids, and I'm paying them $25 an hour to watch them. So instead of that, I want to be home. And in order to be home, guess what? He need to be able to provide for the whole family. But guess what? You just can't expect to walk right into that situation. Because if he already got that situation, on the flip side, men who got that situation, they don't want a woman that's ready to come in and just sit right down. They want to know that you're going to bring something to the table and that y'all, I'm coaching every day. And I'm talking to men who saying, I don't want to marry her because all she want to do is sit down. I want a woman who got the ambition that I have. That's what they're saying. This is what the men telling me. And then, so it's not that he wants his woman to work forever, but he just don't want her to come in with her hand out and ready to prop up her feet. He want her to come in and show that she could bring a table to the table. And then guess what? Then he want to show her, let me show you what I can do for you. So my wife came to me. We come together. Not when I say came to me, I hit on her, but we got together. She come to me. We in a relationship. She blessed me to sow into my gifts. And guess what? Now she able to work how she want to work, when she want to work, where she want to work. She able to make her own schedule. She able to make her own schedule. She able to work in our companies. That was my brainchild because she spoke into my life, because she saw I had the character to produce and to build and to maintain. You hear what I'm telling you? So you know what my wife's paycheck was last week from our companies? Her paycheck was $3,500 last week. I'm not saying last month. So I'm sharing this with you so that you understand where I'm coming from, so that I could help you understand the importance of evaluating a man based off his character. But listen, in order for it to truly be character, he has to be consistent. So I'm not talking about his character, meaning the role that he's playing, because the role in a movie is also a character. I'm not talking about that character. I'm talking about his character, who he is in his heart. So what that means is you're going to have to date this man, and after a few months, you're going to see if he is who he said he is. And guess what? If he has character, that means he's not afraid to grind. That means he's not afraid to work. He just might need a genius idea. He might just need one word of motivation from somebody that he knows and he loves and he cares for. And that's his wife. So when she says something, he says to himself, he says, you know what? I want to give this woman the world. So I'm about to bust my butt because she just spoke into my life. And you know what I was going to tell you? This is what I was going to tell you. Is although I build business and I do all of that, and I've started 11, 12, 13 companies, although I do all of that, my wife's still worth her weight in gold. If she had to stand on her own 2 feet and I was removed from the situation, she'll be just fine. She'll be just fine. She'll make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. She'll make millions if she want to. She could do all that. She just don't have to. You hear what I'm telling you? Because she got more gifts and talents in her pinky than a lot of humans got in their whole body. You hear me? So she's very capable. But she chooses to be able to be at every play, Christmas play. My son got a field trip Friday, so she going on the field trip. She going on the field trip Friday. My other son, he got a thing with his engineering class with the bridges they built. And so I'm going to be with the oldest son, and she going to be with the youngest son. And you know why? It's because we don't have to call anybody and say, yeah, my son has an event. Can I call off today? We don't have to do that. You know why? Because she saw the big picture. She saw the God in me, and she saw my character, and she spoke life into me. And that gave me ideas and inspiration that I did not have on my own, because God created her to complement my life. This is what I need you to understand. So as a woman, this is why it's important that we as men and women heal. So that we don't go to the next person expecting them to be a band-aid and expecting them to do everything for us. So the reason why you can fix your mouth to say, oh, he got to have it all and everything got to be perfect. That's because you still broken, hurting, and angry from your ex. But when you are healed and you are whole, you able to look at a person and see their worth, see their character, and see their potential. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not dating potential. I refuse you. I done dated potential before." No, you didn't. You didn't date potential. You didn't date potential because he didn't have character. That's why the potential did not produce, because it was not potential. You were dating a look. You were dating a man you thought looked good. You were dating a man you thought made some money or had a good job or could climb the corporate ladder. You weren't dating a man of character, because his potential would have turned into production if you were. So you have to stop mislabeling potential. Because see, potential truly is rooted in purpose and character. So if he didn't have pristine character, you wasn't dating potential. He didn't have any potential. So stop telling that lie. Because you lying on God, you lying to yourself, and you hurting yourself. So the next man you see who got character, who got real potential, you telling yourself, "Oh, I ain't dating potential. So if he ain't at the top of the ladder right now, if he ain't making the kind of money that I need, that could sit me down, that could take care of me if I need to be taken care of, what if something happened to me and he can't afford to take care of us?" Guess what? That's why you need to have your own first. Okay? So if you got your own first, then he brings a different set of assets. He may have money already, but that don't matter if he doesn't have character. But if he has character, you don't have to worry about nothing else. If this is a man of God, and I'm talking about a man of God, a man of character, you don't have to worry about a thing. You don't have to worry about a thing. You hear me? And that's why if you believe in God and God got you, then you don't have to depend solely on a man. He got some time to go from $30,000 a year to $300,000 a year. He got some time to go from $70,000 a year to $700,000 a year. He got some time because God got you, and you want a man but don't need a man. So when you come in with this different mentality, oh, he got to have everything together. That means you need a man. That means you ain't got you. That means you still broken. You still hurting. You still don't know who you are. So guess what? And because guess what? If you got good character, meaning that you're not going to be spread eagle with any man you meet on the first night. You're not going to be doing all this, giving all husband benefits. That's all a man require of you. That's all he require of you. And yeah, society say the man ought to be the breadwinner. The man ought to do this. The man ought to do that. Read Proverbs 31. That woman was a boss. And that wasn't even a real woman based on the way I read it. It was a mother telling her son, this is the kind of woman you need. And she was describing this woman. But that woman that the mom described to her for her son, that was a boss. You hear me? She wasn't sitting at home with her feet kicked up. That woman was making moves. She was out acquiring land. She was buying land. She was sowing. She was going to the merchant. She was selling. I told you before, she was the plug. You hear me? So she brought something to the table. So her husband was doing his thing. She was doing her thing. And they became a team. And let me help you understand this. My wife saw my character and where I was going, what God was doing in my life. And that's all that she focused on. And I was trying to go out and get money without character. And she said, I'm out of here. I said, man, you don't want this money? I'm out here trying to get this money. She was like, listen, I'd rather be broke. I would rather be broke than for money to be the only thing that matters to you. That you'll even risk your freedom to get that money. And that's the problem with a lot of women today. They'll let a man risk his freedom as long as she got Gucci and gold, long as she got a house, long as she got the car she want, kids in private school, and all the bills paid, will let a man risk his freedom. That's because that woman does not have character. And that's why she with a man who does not have character. But when you as a human being, you have character, you know what character can produce. So when I talk to my wife today, she tell me I always knew this day was coming. because I saw your gifts and I saw what you was trying to do and what God was trying to do with you and through you. So she said, I never doubted it. I never doubted it. I knew something was going to happen. I knew it was going to take off. And you know what? Because see, sometimes we need somebody to speak into our life. And I remember I was going through a season of my life and we were young. We was young. It was early on in our marriage. And I had built my income, which is our income. I had built it to $15,000 a month. $15,000 a month. So you're looking at what? $180,000 a year. Mind you, I come from $20,000 a year. So 180 divided by 20 is 8. So my income had went up 800%. 800%. You hear me? In a matter of a couple years. That's what character will produce. But I got to a place to where operating my gift was draining me. It was draining me because it was a lot of fakes and fraudsters. So it was making the industry of relationship coaching look bad, because a lot of people start to see me shining and they saw, I wasn't showing off nothing, but they just saw that I had a brand. So there's a lot of young men who start saying, I want to be a relationship coach. And so when they start doing that, I'm like, man, I ain't finna do this with these clowns. I'm about to teach on business, because I'm an entrepreneur too. I could teach on business. I could teach people how to build their business. I started doing that, but it was outside of my purpose. Our income went from $15,000 a month to $7,000 a month. Now, $7,000 a month is not a little bit. 7 times 12, you do the math. You probably better at it than me. What that is? 84,000 a year. That's not bad. But when you was at 180, that's a big deal. So I'm sitting there and I'm struggling. I'm going through. I went through 3 months, bad months. Bills was $8,000 a month, which was cool. $8,000 a month bills, because I was making $15,000 a month profit. So it was all right. But when that went down to 7, now I'm a grand short. So now you got to tap into saving. You looking in the portfolios. You trying to liquidate. And I talked to my wife one night and I said, babe, I don't know what's going on. What's going on? Like, well, you know what I'm saying? What is this? Like, why we in this slump? And guess what? This is what I try to tell you about a woman who has character herself. She ain't money hungry. She ain't a gold digger. She not just focusing on a man money. She looking at his heart, his character, his purpose. And my wife said to me, she said, you out of purpose. You out of purpose. God gonna honor your purpose. God gonna bless you when you doing what he called you to do. She said, you step down. You step down because of these other guys popped up. And so when you step down, they replace you, because the people don't care who telling it as long as somebody telling it. So the people ain't judging these people, and the people can't tell that these guys fake and that they not living what they teaching, because they don't have that type of discernment. They just know these guys saying some stuff that makes sense and sound good about love, but they don't know that these guys sleeping with multiple women. She said, you know that because you in the industry and you got the bug in your ear, so you get to hear this stuff behind the scenes, but the general public don't know what these men doing and how they live and what these guys done said to you when y'all done met face to face. The public don't know that. So she say, when you move out the way, they just go on to the next person. But she say, you need to be in purpose, and you need to be doing what God called you to do, and realize that when God called you to do something, when God called you to bring clarity, the devil gonna call somebody to bring confusion. The devil gonna raise somebody up to be competition, so that your following gets split in half, because half of the people choosing the devil person and half of the people choosing God person. But longevity is gonna be on the right side of the road. It's gonna be on the narrow road. It's gonna be with God. In so many words, this is what my wife told me. She said, so you need to get back where you supposed to be. And guess what? Guess what? Let me tell you, let me help you understand something. That's why it's bigger than money. That's why you got to have a man who has character, so that he will be willing to submit unto you as well as you submitting unto him. The Bible says, submit ye one to another. You hear me? So when a man has character, he is humble enough to listen to you. He humble enough to let you be a woman so that you can see what he can't see instead of him trying to control you. You hear what I'm trying to tell you? So when you're able to operate in your fullness, in your gifts, because you have a man with character. See, you just want a man with money, and guess what? He gonna put his foot on your neck and he gonna make you feel like a slave in your own house. He gonna tell you where you can go, what you can't do, what you can do, what you can spend, what you can't spend, because he gonna say, this my money. This my money. Oh, you got what you want. You got a man with money. But he don't have character. Then you keep telling yourself, well, God gonna send me a man with money and character. No, God wanna see what you got. God not gonna send you a man with money and character because you don't deserve it. Because if God sent you a man with just character, you'll keep going. Just because he making $8.50 an hour, you gonna keep going. So God not gonna bless you with a man with money and character because you judging that man based off his finances instead of judging him the way God judged him. Because God don't care how much money he made. God care about the obedience in his heart. You hear what I'm telling you? So stop saying what God finna do for you when you ain't even doing what God told you to do. You ain't being who God told you to be. You hear me? So I got a righteous indignation on this. That's why I'm in here like Jesus, flipping these here tables. Flipping the table in front of me like Jesus did, because this right here is part of the reason why there's so many single women. Because you read men the wrong way. And because God gonna bless you based on your heart. So you could come in a comment and be a comment warrior and want to argue me down. And you could say all the right things in the comment section. But God evaluating your heart. He know what you really gonna do. He know what you really buy. I gotta check this time. I gotta take my son to practice. I ain't got no watch on me. My clock on my phone here. Hey buddy, how you doing? Ask mama what time is it. Ask mama what time is it. And so this is what I need you to understand. My wife spoke into my life and she said that to me. And guess what happened? I went from $7,000 a month to $30,000 a month. I was at 15 3 months ago. Well, at that time, 3 months ago, 3 months prior to that, I was at 15. Income went down. 450, 450. Almost 5 o'clock? Okay. I got to get going. I was at 15, went to 7, and here go my wife. Spoke into my life. Spoke to my character. Spoke to my purpose. I listened to her. God honored it. When I got back in my seat, or where God told me to be at, I'm in my 20s. I was in my 20s. You hear me? So imagine what a man could do. I'm giving wisdom from God in my 20s. And God took and sent me to $30,000 a month. So imagine, so y'all talking about, well, what if he broke and he 40 and he 50? Guess what? When he get in purpose, because of you supporting him and speaking into his life, and he got the character to do what he called to do, he gonna make more money than I was making. Because he older. So he got naturally more wisdom, and people gonna trust him more because he older, and people equate age with wisdom. So understand that. So what I need you to hear, guess what? God took and sent it to $30,000 a month. And then guess what it kept doing? Kept going up and up and up. And what the Lord told me ain't no cap. It's no cap when you doing what I called you to do. I'm going to bless you when you in right standing with me. When your character. But see, it ain't going to happen overnight because God got to let you get prepared. He got to send you up the mountainside. You got to climb so you could get strong. Hey, babe, what time it is? What time it is? I can't see because the light. What time? 5? TV getting ready? Yeah. Okay. I'll be done in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So what I want you to understand is, and listen to me now. If you got this far, be blessed in the comments. Listen to me now. I'm going to try to bring this thing home now. I told my wife 5 minutes. I got to be gone now. Let me help you understand this. if you want a man of God, you got to see him the way God see him. And God don't care how much money he make. God is only concerned with his heart position. And the reason why he may not have the blessings that God has for him is because God is waiting on his wife to be with him, so that the scripture that says he who finds a wife finds a good thing and receives favor from the Lord. It don't say he who is single doing his own thing receives favor from the Lord. It clearly says he who finds a wife finds a good thing and receives favor from the Lord. See, you bring favor to a man's life. So all he needs is the foundation, which is pure character. He could be unemployed. You hear me? Because he just got laid off now. If he got character, he's looking for a job. He's looking for a job and he's willing to do any kind of work. He'll flip burgers. He'll hop on the back of that truck that's going to mow lawns to get $50 a day. He would do whatever he got to do until God show up and show out. But he's going to be consistent and he's going to be a man of character. And let me tell you what's going to happen. When you come into his life, you bring favor into his life. And when you bring favor to his life, because you bring in confidence, you bring in wisdom, you bring in support, you bring in vision, you bring in all these intangibles. You bring in all these intangibles, and you might be bringing some tangibles. You might have a good credit score. You might have a little savings. You might have a little something. And because you think different, you might have been able to get some money, and you might have been able to get more money than he got. So my wife was on a path to get more money than me, and she was making more than me. Even on our job that we was working, they were paying her $13.50 an hour. They were paying me $8.50 an hour. You hear me? She was making more money than me and was getting ready to keep making more money than me. But because of what God put in me, God took and said, look, watch what I do. Let me work. Sister, this is what God said to her. Daughter, because of your faithfulness, because of your obedience, because of your humility, because you judge my son the way I judge him, watch what I do for you. Your life will be peaceful. Your life will be blessed. You will have blessings pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Because this God talking, have no respect of persons. I see everybody the same, and that's how you saw my child. That's how you saw my son. So guess what? You can rest. You can work if you want to work. You was in the field like Ruth, but I just introduced you to Boaz, and he owned the field. But see, I ain't signed the deed over to him yet because I wanted you to come into his life. You hear what I'm trying to tell you? Listen to me. Listen to me. This how this thing work. Point blank period. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about this. If he has character, he has everything. And it's something I was forgetting that I needed to say. And you know what happened? This is what it was. My wife was coming and she could do everything. She could make all her own money. And guess what? My wife ain't had to work. She ain't had to work since the age of 20. Because God took and started to do a work. But guess what? When she started working, it's because our son was born premature. And guess what? We were living off of my little measly income. But she loved me in that season. Just because you 40 don't mean that you got more bills than somebody who 20. You got the same bill. The bread and the milk cost the same. You hear me? It cost the same. So she needed financial security just like everybody else. I'm like, oh, well, I'm older, so I need to get stuff in order and line. Well, that's why you got yourself and why you got God. It ain't all about the man. The man gonna bring something, but you got to be able to see what God see. But if you going in judging like a Pharisee, then that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a man who look good on the outside and ain't worth nothing on the inside when you judging like that. But when you look at him the way God look at him, guess what? you're going to get what God got for you. A man of God. And God took and showed up and showed out. He took and moved. He took and opened doors. He took and blew things up. And he said, listen, this right here, your purpose, but I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to show you how to make money in several different fields, several different ways. I'm going to show you how to create multiple streams of income. So we have over 50 streams of income. Yes, a man with no college degree. Yes, a man who was making $8.50 an hour. And yes, even at the age of 25 years old, I was making $10 an hour. Yes, at the age of 27 years old, making $10 an hour. Yes. Okay, going into grown manhood. Okay, had dropped out of college. Didn't have a college degree, and look what God did. I owe it to my obedience to God, and also my obedience to my wife, my faithfulness to my wife, and the way I treat her, and I treat her the way God want her to be treated. And see, we don't show off. You could go on her Instagram page, you won't see her cars. We don't show off. We don't show all the material stuff. We don't show all that. I remember I took a picture at my pool one time with my son. My wife took a picture, and somebody wrote, "What resort you at?" I'm at my house. Me and my wife looked at it. Well, you better know God. And listen what I'm trying to tell you. I ain't trying to brag to you, but what I'm trying to tell you is that when you truly get aligned with God, He gonna show up and show out. Man ain't gonna be able to touch you. Ain't nobody gonna be able to tell you nothing. God gonna provide for you. You hear what I'm telling you? You're gonna have what you need. You're gonna have what you need, and you're gonna be able to be humble about it. I'm sharing this so y'all really get the real picture, so you understand what character produces when it is magnified, because it is being intensified, because it has confirmation with somebody else who has character. So if you have character and he has character, y'all gonna produce some amazing things regardless of what the financial situation look right then and there. It's gonna be amazing. Hey, I done forgot some stuff, but I'm coming up on an hour and I gotta take my son to soccer practice and add a soccer practice. So I gotta be soccer dad tonight. God bless y'all. We'll talk soon.